You've probably felt it without knowing how to explain it, that strange discomfort when something familiar suddenly feels questionable. Belief you once trusted no longer feels solid. A story you were taught about life doesn't fully fit anymore. Even the way people interpret the world seems incomplete, and for a moment you wonder if something is wrong with you. But what if the opposite is true? What if you're not losing your mind? What if you're simply losing your filters? There is a quiet collapse happening inside human consciousness. Not of buildings, not of societies, but of meaning itself, and most people are too distracted to notice it. Edgar Cayce, the 20th century mystic often called the sleeping prophet, once spoke in symbolic language about a future where human perception would shift dramatically, not because the world would change first, but because human awareness would stop interpreting it the same way. Whether you believe in prophecy or not is irrelevant, because psychologically, this is already happening right now inside you. You no longer believe things the way you used to. Not because you are cynical, but because you're beginning to see the machinery behind belief, and once you see it, you can't fully unsee it. Think about it. When you were younger, life felt more solid. Right and wrong felt clearer. People felt easier to categorize. Truth felt like something you could simply receive. But now, everything feels layered, complex, sometimes even constructed. This shift is deeply unsettling, because belief is not just something you have got. It is something that holds your reality together. And when it starts to weaken, you don't just question ideas. You begin to question your footing in existence. Friedrich Nietzsche described something similar when he declared that God is dead. But most people misunderstand him. He wasn't speaking about religion alone. He was describing the collapse of unquestioned meaning. The structures that once told humanity what life is supposed to be were dissolving. And in their place, uncertainty, freedom. And chaos. But here's what Nietzsche also warned about. When old belief systems collapse, most people don't become free, they become lost, because they try to replace depth with distraction. Meaning with noise. Truth with comfort. And this is where your experience becomes personal, because you are not watching a philosophical shift. You are living inside it. Have you noticed how harder it is to fully believe anything without hesitation? A news story, a motivational quote, even your own thoughts. There's a small pause now, a gap, a questioning voice that says, is this actually true, or just something I'm repeating? That gap is important. That gap is evolution, but it feels like instability. Plato once described human beings as living inside a cave, mistaking shadows for reality. But what happens when someone starts to realize the shadows are projections? They don't immediately see the outside world. They first experience confusion, then doubt, then emotional resistance, because the cave was also comfort. You are not just questioning ideas. You are questioning the emotional safety of certainty itself. And that creates a subtle psychological tension. Part of you wants deeper truth. Another part of you just wants things to feel normal again. This inner conflict is where modern suffering lives. Not in external chaos, but in the breakdown of internal certainty. Now here is something uncomfortable. Most of what you call belief is not chosen. It is inherited. Absorbed. Reinforced through repetition until it feels like identity. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who lived through one of history's darkest periods, warned about the danger of thoughtless conformity. People adopting ideas not because they are true, but because they are socially reinforced. And when you begin to see how many of your beliefs were never truly examined, a quiet shock occurs, not dramatic, but destabilizing, because suddenly you realize you are not just living your life, you are living a system of interpretations you never fully chose. And now that system is cracking, This is why simple answers feel hollow, Why slogans feel empty, Why certainty feels suspicious. You are not becoming more negative, You are becoming harder to deceive, even by yourself. But there is a hidden danger here. When belief collapses too quickly, the mind panics, and it tries to rebuild meaning too fast, often grabbing anything that feels stable, ideologies, trends, spiritual systems, cynicism, even nihilism. But none of these are the real issue. The issue is not what you believe. It is how urgently you need to believe something, because urgency distorts truth, it turns understanding into escape. Niccolo Machiavelli once observed that people prefer predictable illusions over uncertain reality, and this is still true today. Most people don't seek truth. They seek emotional stability disguised as truth. But you are in a different phase now, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it feels like drifting, even if part of you fears you are losing your grip. You are not collapsing. You are unlayering, and in this unlayering, something unexpected begins to happen. At first, belief fades, then identity softens, then emotional reactions lose their absolute authority, and in that space, something rare appears, not certainty, but clarity. Clarity that does not depend on belief, clarity that observes without immediately labeling, clarity that allows contradiction to exist without panic, and this is where most people misunderstand spiritual or philosophical awakening. They think it is about finding answers, but in reality, it is about becoming less dependent on answers. Because life is not becoming simpler, your perception is becoming deeper, and deeper perception always looks like confusion at first, Think of it like stepping outside a long, enclosed structure. At first, the light is overwhelming. You cannot see clearly. You might even close your eyes, but that does not mean you should go back inside. It only means your vision is adjusting. Now here is the quiet truth beneath everything. You are not supposed to replace all beliefs with certainty. You are supposed to learn how to hold experience without clinging to interpretation. That is what is actually changing inside you, not your opinions, but your relationship to opinions themselves, and slowly something profound begins to emerge. You start noticing that reality does not require constant explanation to be experienced fully. A moment of silence becomes complete without meaning attached to it. A walk becomes enough without interpretation. A feeling passes without needing a story. This is not detachment from life, it is intimacy with it, without distortion. And yet, you will still feel moments of doubt. Moments where you ask, where is all of this going? Am I losing something important? Should I go back to how I used to think? And the answer will not arrive as certainty, it will arrive as stillness. A subtle recognition that you cannot unknow what you now see. because once belief systems begin to dissolve, you cannot rebuild them in the same way. You can only move forward with clearer eyes. So if you are feeling this quiet collapse inside yourself, do not rush to fix it. Do not rush to fill it. Do not mistake it for emptiness. It is not emptiness. It is space. And space is where new perception becomes possible. What is collapsing is not your mind. It is the illusion that you ever needed absolute certainty to live fully. And once that illusion fades, something unexpected remains. Not answers, not doctrines, not fixed meaning, but awareness itself. Quiet, present, unclaimed. And from here, life does not become easier to explain, but it becomes impossible to ignore. And that changes everything, because once you see clearly, you can no longer pretend you don't.